Right, hello, back again. I'm just have a quick drink actually. I should have done this before pressing record. Um, Now, yeah, you can see my screen. I'm still in the same jumper. I am going to go back. No, I don't want to delete that one. So you got the Hobbs-Johnson combo there from the video that is above this one. What am I going to do? I want to go back and look at, what are we, National Hunt. This may go a bit slower because the previous video is now rendering, or whatever the technical term is. There it is, and that is what, nearly half an hour long, and that'll probably take a while. So we'll see if this screen judders a bit and my laptop comes to a halt. National Hunt Saturdays, let me remove odds, and I am removing those two, so we're back to the starter set, and I'm going to dig again. I'll whiz through this. Wins high to low. What was I digging? Jockeys and trainers. Gone too far. So, I mean, those of you that have a horse race base account, you know, may look at these figures and want to dip into them a bit more. So where am I going? What was the other profit that stood out? Hold on. I want Moloney and Evan Williams. Where are they? It's the brilliance of live television. Why is that not throwing up? Hold on. Wins high to low. Let me go again. I'll just search for them. I've probably deleted something that I shouldn't have because the screen looks different to what it did. Oh no, it doesn't. They are just there. Right. So they're profitable. They are performing. Let me whiz them to the top. They are performing just below market expectations. That's that is a big enough stat to pull actually. Having said in the previous video, you won't find combinations that have hundreds and hundreds of bets. Well, clearly you will. But as you can see, by the time they do get to hundreds and hundreds of bets, a lot of them lose a lot of money and perform a long way below market expectations. You need to find them, or use these as a starter set of data and dig down, or find combinations that you can profit from over the next few years before the market does cotton on. So anyway, enough of me bumbling on. Let's have a look there. So pretty okay. A heavy hit year there in 2012. Hopefully it may have been obvious they were out of form, but that just shows you actually the stats for 2012 and 13 are similar. That is just going to be down to the odds of the winners affecting quite a big difference in, well, they both lost, but still, you know, quite a big difference there. So we've got the start of the set, these two Saturdays. What am I going to go down? I'll start with odds first of all, and I'm doing this knowing that they have a couple of big uns go in every now and then. So if I scan down, yeah, see they've had two at 40 to 1, one at 33 to 1, one at 25 to 1. So for big odds go-getters amongst us, that's exciting because they're, you know, I know it's only 2, 3, 4 at 25 to 1 or over, but that's 4 more than a lot may have on a Saturday. At the moment, so I'm just going to leave the odds for the moment. We don't have class, we don't have race type. Let me go to race type. I'll try and make this video a bit shorter than the previous one. Well, kaboom, for want of a better word. Hopefully that may be obvious where I'm about to focus on. Chasers, they do alright, but you know the figures are similar in terms of bets and wins, but they perform yeah, that's what, a 6. That's a 10% swing in terms of market performance against market expectation. That suggests that a lot of the biggies that go in are the hurdlers, so I'm going to focus on them. Now the whole kind of premise of looking at a Saturday, well, one of the ones I said was that they're valuable races, they're big races, they're ones to target. The other angle for Saturday is obviously the owners. They may be syndicates, they may be rich, likely to be rich businessmen and women. And Saturdays may be the only days they can get to the races, and I should think there are many across the country which ask their horses if they're good enough, and even if they're not, certain, class 3 and 4s on a Saturday, to target them at races that they can attend and that they can go and watch. That makes perfect sense, and there is a logic there also. So we've got hurdlers. Now I want to break down by race class. Is there a class type that we can ignore? Good, yes. Class 1 and Class 2. Class 3, 4 and 5, again, they're performing above, but that's a lot of bets. Win percentage is low. Well, they're all low at the moment. But they're losing there, and I want micro angles. I don't want loads of bets thrown up on a Saturday. I want something to tick along in the background that might find me a few monsters. So I'm going to go straight to 1 and 2. At this point, I'm going to go back in to the odds. You can see here we're not going to get many winners over the years, but they could be quite fun. So yeah, that's greatly reduced. A record of what, 2? I mean, you could ignore those that are kind of really a stupid price. But a record of 2, 3, 4 from what, 7, 9, 18, 4 from 21, 6 places at 25 to 1 or over. That's exciting. Now, obviously, with these big prize funds, you want to make sure that actually they're performing all right when they're kind of well fancied in the market as well, because that's normally a good sign. So if I just look at those at 14 to 1 and under, they're performing all right, below market expectations actually a tad, so maybe not too brilliant. But I just think they may have been better prices earlier on. We'll see. For now, let me just ignore them. There's one other. I'm not sure if I've included Evan Williams before in my 90-day trainers, but I know, and as you will see when I click this button, there are various things that I look at and go through, and I will go back out and look at in a minute. But the number of times a horse has run in the last 90 days or 3 months, I like as a weigh-in, as a filter, as a stat, as an indication of behaviour. So if I just click on that, right. So those with 0 runs. I mean, I kind of know we're dealing with small samples. Actually, just to prove a point, which we'll add a couple of minutes on. If I just look at all these hurdlers, I think this is going to prove my point. So all these national hunt hurdlers, all prices with Paul Moloney on. Days irrelevant. Horse run 90 days. Right. So those generally, the ones that are profitable and performing above market expectations are those with 2 runs in 90 days. That indicates they are race fit, but may not have raced too many times and therefore are over the top, which may be, as they've run more and more in the last 3 months, that may be the case. Those that haven't run in the last 3 months, they do alright in general. It's a case of picking them, but a lot of them generally need the first run. A lot of them look like some of them might need the second run as well. So that's an interesting point there. But I'm going to add back in class and day. What are we? Saturday. Class 1 and 2. And the other thing that I haven't looked at is the breakdown with handicap and non-handicap. computer is slowing down a bit. So actually he's had, you know, the non-handicaps, what are they, 2 from 28, 5 places. They're performing below market expectations. It's not too bad, but could be better. Let's just leave that a sec when I go back into horse runs in 90 days. So I know this is a bit all over the place, but there we go. Now if so let's just do the apply not rule. So if I tick the 2 that I wanted to ignore, so this will just give me the stats for all those that have ran 0, 3, 4 or 5. As you can see, there obviously was one big price winner there that had, you know, was pretty hard race fit. But general, that stats 1 from 24, 4 places. And if you remove that big price winner, yeah, obviously will look even worse. You know, in general, again, yes, it's a small stats pool, so you can interpret that as you wish. But I am going to focus on those that have had 1 or 2 runs in the last 90 days. And I'm going to break down again by handicap and non-handicap. So there we go. Yeah, so that well, one of those what am I going to say? Yeah, sorry. So 1 from 16 non-handicaps, 3 places. I generally don't like betting in. Probably novice heads, I'm not sure, but let's just look at the handicaps. So we've got handicaps class 1 and 2. As you can see, the last kind of couple years are pretty good. Now this is very micro, obviously, and as always, the winners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it's 6 different horses. Yeah. So he has a habit of finding them and finding the odd one go in at a rather big price. 21%, 11 places. On a Saturday, Paul Moloney. I think that's what we want. Let me just go back into class. Where are we? Let me just see if I'm ignoring anything. Now see, class 3 there does alright. Actually, a case could be made, given the 50% strike rate with class 4, to ignore the class completely, actually, on that set in terms of the horse's runs in the last 90 days. And that would give a pretty decent set there. 20, well, what's exciting, I suppose, is that it's the last 2 years it's really stepped up, and they are pretty good stats in terms of the price of the horses, and I don't need to do too much more there, I don't think. I could do what I did with Richard, Johnson, Philip Hobbs, and just break down by jockey, just to double check to see if there are any others that are worth focusing on. Yeah, see, Adam Wedge, 3 from 24. It's a lot with smaller numbers there. Tom O'Brien's interesting, Connor Ring, but let's just stick with Paul Moloney for now. And let's just look at the day as well. So, you know, I'm deleting things, I'm building back out, building back in. Let's look at the day, just to make sure to see if it is a behaviour. Now this was the interesting thing. So yeah, in general, not. It's not worth focusing on Saturdays. Tuesday is interesting, and I did look at this because it makes me think it might be a certain track, which I think it is. well, right, yeah. So, well, Newton Abbot, Southall, Taunton is interesting. 2 from 6 4 places, and a couple of really big winners. So that's possibly something for the notebook. If you took out the day and go back in, so there's no days here, and let's just look at track in general, actually, which is never a bad thing when you're looking at trainer jockey behaviour. So let me just order by wins. So yeah, I mean Taunton's 4 from 20, but what was it? It was 2 from 6 4 places were on the Tuesday. But they're interesting enough. Haydock, 4 from 10. So there's different angles there. You could look at the track angle and keep Haydock and Taunton on side. Plumpton when Paul Moloney's up. Chepstow. There's some biggies there and some big price winners. All the way down, what's he not do well at? Cheltenham, 0 from 12. You might want to ignore that. Small samples, but he has had winners at Cheltenham. It's not a question of his horse is not handling the track necessarily. What else have we got? No, that's interesting. So let me just look at those tracks. That's that's not a bad. Another little micro angle in. Paul Moloney, Evan Williams, 1 and 2 days, 1 and 2 runs in the last 90 days, handicap hurdles at those 4 tracks. Pretty good. Now if I break down by days, let's just see how many were on a Saturday, because that first micro angle, first set of data may well be ignoring a few. So Saturday, 7 of the 21 are on Saturdays, so not missing too many. But you've got Sunday, probably Plumpton, Sunday. Tuesday's a Taunton. Wednesday. So you've got that's one micro angle that I will dig out and then save. Yes, they're very small numbers, but they're interesting and probably worth keeping on side to a certain extent. And then we have the Saturday angle. Bear with me. So if we just focus on Saturday, that given the number of winners, that looks like a target for Evan Williams. That looks like a part of behaviour, getting this handicap hurdlers to do well on a Saturday. 20% strike rate, 102% above market expectations. The one I haven't focused on, of course, is the profit at Betfair starting price, which is, as you'd expect. What was I going to look at? Sorry. The winners. So again, bigger list here. Sorry, let me just go to the odds on the exchange. So Court Menschel, blimey, 94 to 1, 36, 67. How many different horses is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 of the 12 winners are different horses. That gives more confidence for the future. So that is another micro angle. You've got this one here, and you've got those 4 tracks I highlighted before. I will save both to my system, and probably along with Hobbs and Johnson start flagging the qualifiers, because they could throw up some rather big price winners. So that is the joy of stats and horse race base and loving digging into angles such as that. I hadn't looked at those two before in that way, but I have now, and I'm glad I did. I hope you've enjoyed this video and the one before. I will have a short break, and then I will be back with a look at Nicky Richards. But for now, thanks for watching, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the video. As always, comments, questions, emails, etc. Are welcome, and I will get back to you ASAP. Until the next time, bye for now.